So I want to share a little bit of our personal story, which I don't do very much, about how I came to own Renewed Hope Nutrition Center and open this business up in order to help people in their health journey. And that's because it was very personal. My husband was diagnosed with leukemia and with cancer. It always surprises you, and it totally did us. Especially since we were doing all the right things. We were growing our own food, we were milking our own dairy cow, we had our own chickens. Like, we were serious about health. And then all of a sudden, he had a diagnosis like this, and it really, I mean, we didn't know what to do with it. And it caused us to go try to seek help out in other places, larger cities, which was very, very expensive. And the burden of that was really, really difficult. And so, about a year in, we really started to look at things as far as the connections. Like, how did we get here? How did he end up with a cancer diagnosis? And we started doing some of the testing that we had, and that actually showed that he had very high amounts of a particular type of mold, OTA mold, that grows on building materials in water damaged areas. And that was a huge thing because that particular mold was higher than they measured. It was literally off the chart. And that mold is linked to many things, but one of them is to leukemia. And so the way we viewed mold growing up in the mountains, we were always outside. We had mold in the woods. Like, you don't think about that, but that's totally different than mold on man made materials. You get a totally different mycotoxin profile from that. And it does damage your health, especially if you're staying in it or if you don't understand that's what caused it in the first place. And so we were also given the of diagnosis of active Lyme's disease at the same time that he had glyphosate toxicity higher than you could measure on testing. And so we literally came to this place where it was like we had this one diagnosis that literally had root causes that were completely undiscovered to us. And we knew that in order for him to get well, we had to address all of those things and allow his immune system to be able to work on one thing at a time so that he could be healed from cancer. And that began a journey for me to learn everything that I could about mold and cancer and Lyme's disease and also the danger of pesticides. And that journey is what led me here years later to try to help other people understand that if you can really get to the root cause of what's going on with your health, then you stand such a better chance to be well than you do if you just try to treat or manage a disease. Because the truth is, we can name conditions whatever we want, but in order to heal, the cell has to get everything in. So that's where you have to start focusing on our body has the ability to heal us. We have an innate immune system inside of our cells, and if we have given our body everything that it needs, then we're actually able to heal. But if something can't get into the cell, then we can't get well. Doesn't matter how many supplements you throw at it, because we went down that road too. At one point, he was taking 55 supplements a day, and that's a huge burden to bear financially and also just swallowing that many. But it was all part of a learning experience to say, okay, what does your body really need? And how do we get out of this situation that we were in? The mold was in our home that we had lived in for 20 years. So it wasn't an easy thing to look at that and say, okay, we were beyond remediation. It was to the point that we didn't have that option. And so we left our home. And with 7 children, that's not an easy thing to do. And we basically started looking for a house, which took us several months to find that didn't have mold. Even newly built homes can have mold. And so that led us on a journey of a different trusting experience with the Lord as, okay, what is going on? It just felt like our lives were upside down. But at the end of it all, we look back and think, oh my goodness, the Lord's been so gracious to us in all of this. And what mold looked like for my husband was a leukemia diagnosis. What it looked like for some of my children was asthma and allergies and sinus issues. And for some others of us, including me, it was anxiety and the beginning of panic attacks. So however the body receives something, that's how it ends up showing up symptoms. And someone can be exposed to mold or have a condition and it look totally different because of their physiology and where their body has weak areas. So once we got out of that situation and we removed the source, then we were able to start a healing process. And within 6 months, my husband was completely undetectable of his condition, and that just continued to be beyond remission, which he's still at now. But I really believe that in order to heal, we have to give our body what's missing. We have to give ourselves the grace to heal because stress is a huge reason why we get sick. And so all of this healing journey has led me to the place where I am privileged to help people walk through a time in their life like we were in when it's really hard and you can feel all alone and sometimes wonder, what is going on? Like, why is this happening? And somehow be able to put the pieces together, help someone share that journey in their life, which is what we needed. We had people that helped us, but then I really wanted to come to the place where we could help people locally, affordably, be able to care for their health issues without it breaking the bank and being able to do it in a way that they could heal and it wouldn't be a burden to them. So there's always cost involved in health and the testing that we did and things that I do here at the office. Yeah, there's an investment in that somewhat, but I also have learned that you don't need all that testing. Instead of attacking a condition, we focus on strengthening the person. And their body can heal something much better than any supplement or I can or anyone else can, because that is within us to be able to heal. So if the body creates a condition, it has the ability to heal it. And I firmly believe that. And I've been very blessed to see that happen in my husband's life and also in the